My wife Bernie and I were married for 22 or 25 years before her mother, who had the recipe, would actually let me. She didn't give me the recipe, but she would let me watch. She had 8 kids, and I was the only one out of all her kids and everybody that knew her that actually got. And I really didn't get the recipe, but she showed me how to do it. After all those years, she finally let me go into the kitchen and stir the pot. And I was stirring just as fast as I could and stirring, and she looked at me and said, she didn't say anything. She just looked at me, and I knew that look. And I said, "What's wrong?" She didn't say anything, so I stirred faster. And then she looked at me again. I said, "What's wrong?" She goes, "Figure 8." My first attempt at stirring was even incorrect, but I learned. Pork green chili. There's obviously pork and green chili, and we make a salsa uh, that has uh, green chilies. It has tomato and garlic salt. The pork is just lean pork that we cut all the fat off of and cube it, and then we make a roux out of. You can use flour, or we're gluten free now, so we use the gluten free stuff, and olive oil to make the roux. So it's the roux, it's the pork, and it is the green chili salsa that makes up the green chili. It's all a process of um, where you start and what you cook, what into what. I've done it so many times. I know how much oil, how much flour, and how much roux, and have the correct pans. So every one has to go into the other, but you have to have the correct amounts to make it all work out okay. So I've done it a lot of times, and I know exactly. I need 1 1/4 cups of olive oil in this pan. I need this filled up to the top of the rivets when I start with water, and how many cans of tomatoes and how many pounds of pork. So you start with, you go ahead and get the pork and boil it, and you have the pork and the broth. When you're done with that, then you make the salsa, which is the green chili, garlic salt, and tomatoes. This is the salsa. It's a little bit flaky, but it's still kind of hard. Now that's just about right, because if we would cook the pork in there all the time and not take it out, and I've done that before, you don't have nice chunks of pork. You just have, it just disintegrates into the broth. And then you start with the roux. You cook the roux until it's done correctly. This is one of the most important parts. We're going to do the roux. And what I'm looking for here is a certain consistency to tell if it's finished or not. We don't want it too brown, but we don't want it not brown. So it's got to be right in between the two. It's really important to keep the temperature right and keep on stirring. Kind of has a consistency of it's kind of like oatmeal when it's all said and done. So we're getting really close. You don't want to add too much flour too late in the process, because then it won't cook, but we're a little bit light. You can do everything wrong, and if you make the roux right, everything comes out okay. So but this has to be done well correctly. We've been cooking this for probably 15 or 20 minutes, and consistency is real good. And I had said earlier, you can tell when it's starting to get finished up when it's smooth like that, not lumpy. This is ready for the next step. Once you make it, you have all those things ready to go. You put the roux that's already completed into the broth, and you get that boiling, and then you put the pork into the mixture. And mix it with a whisk, get the lumps out of it, then add it to the rest of the broth. Pork, not quite done. This is good. Put that in there. Bernie, do you want to say some salsa? You just take that out of the house.
Please.
Yep. Like that. Just gonna get this. At that point, you've got about between 2.5 and 3 hours of boiling before it becomes green chili.